Hey guys, okay, so this is the Smackdown After Mania review, again, which was weird. Very similar kind of weird to what happened on the Raw After Mania. It was confusing as hell. But let's go from the top, shall we? Okay, so we start with Kofi Kingston coming out, and Kofi finally has his own little celebration, yay. So he should. Kind of a better celebration than what he basically got on Raw, as it should be, considering, SmackDown is their show at the moment anyway. But yeah, a bit odd considering we basically had two celebrations in a way. But yeah, I mean, like it was better for them to have his moment in the sun like he should have done. Biggie redid his splits, which was weird, but cool. You don't really expect a big guy to do that. He probably got the biggest adulation of the night. Adulation of the night. I feel like that's the wrong word, but it'll do. But yeah, Kofi got his moment, as he should do. New Day got the moment, as he should do. Again, come out. Again, weird. Again, not necessary. Again, irrelevant. Already covered it. Gonna cover it again, basically. Rehash, just like what they do. They say if they didn't interrupt, then Kofi wouldn't have won. He would have lost on his first night. Blah, blah, blah. Typical heel promo. And this sets up for the New Day versus the Bar and their new friend, Drew McIntyre. So Drew randomly turns up on SmackDown for no particular reason. I'm guessing this is another teaser to Superstar shake-up. But it was still very like, let's just stick all the Europeans together. I'm waiting for Rusev to turn up on us to get another freaking League of Nations. Seriously, please don't do that again. It did nothing for anybody. But yeah, it was just like, what? Why? I mean, like, cool, but why? It made no sense. But, okay. We made a new friend on Raw. He wasn't even on Raw. Was he? Did I blink and miss him? I mean, what? It was, okay, yeah, fine, yeah, moving on. So it was the New Day versus the Bar and Drew McIntyre. New Day win. Shock horror, of course they do. Of course they should. Obviously, the New Day needed to win that because they needed to show off, like, we aren't just B+ players, we still are the big ones, blah, blah, blah. Kofi gets referred to as B+ again, and it's like, oh, God's sake, stop with this whole B+ thing. It's just not doing anything. Stop. We've gone past this. We are past this. Kofi is no longer the B+ and the underdog. He now has the championship. I mean, maybe they don't take him legitimately or blah, blah, blah. Again, we are way past this. After Daniel Bryan became champ, they didn't keep constantly referring to him as that. They just let him be champion for a bit. And yeah, no, they didn't. He retired. No, they didn't retire. They dropped the belts. Actually, never mind. But they still, even then, they still didn't refer to him as B+ and all that kind of, like, after he dropped the belts. They were all very sorry for him, but, like, it was still, I don't know, it was weird. It was just weird. And got the win, as they should have done. Final moment again. Mrs. is very good looking, by the way. I mean, like, Kofi's not exactly, ugly, but, like, yeah, Mrs. is very nice. Lacey Evans came out and attacked Becky again. Becky comes out and has her celebration on, well, I'd say her show, but now she's kind of both. So she's kind of had a celebration on both, which she should do, considering she's the champ of both shows. But Lacey Evans came out to that again. I don't know what to think of this Lacey Evans being on both shows, but I don't know. I've not liked recently this whole every NXT member is on both shows. The whole point of them doing that was that they were supposed to pick a show that they were meant to go on. And none of them have been on a particular show, so what's the point? To be honest, there's not much point in this brand split anymore because they don't really have it as a split anymore. It's just, I don't know, just 2 separate shows again, which is fine, but the whole point is that you see different ones on different shows. So you see a different roster on. So you went to see Raw, you see certain wrestlers. You went to see SmackDown, you see certain wrestlers. Like this, it doesn't really matter which one you go to. You probably see half of them on both anyway. So it's technically pointless unless they actually go back to having them fully separated and actually bother to decide what the hell they're doing with the NXT up-and-comers and actually bother to put them somewhere. I kind of get that Lacey is chasing her between both shows, but at the same time, like, with the NXT stars, pick a show. Just pick a show so we can actually start building something properly with them. The independent fight again, the scuffle again. Becky eventually leaving. It was fine, but Raw basically captured it. I get why they're doing it on both shows, but it was just kind of a repeat of what happened on the last one. I mean, she's making a presence felt more, but it's a little redundant. The moments kind of happened, so they were essentially repeating it. Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, and Aleister Black defeated Andrade, Rusev, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Wow. I mean, what are you even doing with Andrade at the moment? You had, again, a natural story building between him and Ray that could have been a massive WrestleMania moment, showing what they were building with the whole Eddie Guerrero tease and blah, blah, blah. And you could have made something huge out of that. And they've wasted it again. Natural stories building up and being completely thrown away. What's the point? If you got something building and something already like naturally happening, run with it. Build it. Let it happen. Look what happened with Kofi. You've literally got evidence that works right in front of you. So let it happen. Stop trying to force things to happen and let things happen that are already occurring. We are telling you what we like. We are telling you what we loved and what we love. So if you can see that you're getting a reaction from it, build it. Make something of it. Like when Roman was getting booed like crazy, turn him heel. When Cena was getting booed like crazy, okay, I kind of get that they still kind of kept it like that considering Cena's fairly sarky anyway. But yeah, just let things happen naturally. It makes it so much easier on the creative team as well, because they've already got something there to work with and build, rather than having to force stories to happen, rather than having to just throw things in and just, let it happen. Roll with it. Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, and Aleister Black together are pure gold, okay? Again, character-wise, leave them on their own, but together, holy crap, what a team. Like, you could build like a high-flying kind of Shield thing out of that, or an even better Lucha House Party. I mean, like, well, actually, raise them up and make them strong. You could really do something with them, potentially, anyway. I mean, I doubt that they will. I'm sure it's just a throwaway thing that they've just stuck in for something cool to watch, which is fine, like, sometimes it's good for it to just be a random wrestling match because it's just something that you just want to see. It's not necessarily story. It's nicer to have a story behind it, but sometimes it's just like, I'd love to see those two wrestlers go against each other. Let's throw them together and see what happens. Like when Andrade faced Ray for the first time, it was just a random throwaway match that they did for a while kind of build on. There was no Ray this episode. I get it, maybe he's still recovering. I mean, there is more of a story on the Joe thing now. So I did cover this in the Mania video, that the reason why the match was so short was because we didn't think it was going to happen because of the fact that Ray got injured on the Raw before Mania. But it turns out that isn't the reason for the short match, which makes it worse. The reason for the short match is because of time. it was because they wanted enough time for the rest of the matches. And I get it. I know they've got a timekeeper and they've got to stick to a certain limit and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, this is so unfair to Ray when he's just got back and it's his first Mania back and you're doing that to him. Tight as hell, man. You may as well have just stuck him in the Battle Royale. It would have done about as much for him. It would have done better for him. At least it would have lasted a bit longer than 60 seconds, if not less. I mean, it makes Joe look even stronger, but at the same time, it really puts down one of your older wrestlers, and that's rubbish, especially when they're still in the higher ones and not just like a cameo, they're not just a part-timer. Stop wasting talent. Strowman brawled with Samoa Joe, R-Truth and Carmella beforehand. It was interesting. I mean, like, R-Truth just doesn't seem to care about the fact that he lost the United States Championship. Maybe he's just happy that he had it in the first place. I don't know. Same time, it was that US Championship run has pretty much been thrown away. I mean, it was a bit rubbish that they did it for more comedic value than to actually build him after getting his tenure with the company. But I suppose at least he's finally got a championship after a very long time. But at the same time, and Carmella in the Battle Royale, what's the freaking point? It's going to be like Mojo Rawley, where it's like, oh my god, she won the Battle Royale! And it's never going to get mentioned ever. It's going to get mentioned week after week after week. It's like the only accolade she's ever had, apart from the fact she has been Smackdown Women's Champion, which, and she has been Miss Money in the Bank. But yeah, I mean, winning the Battle Royale doesn't seem to do much for you. It should do. It should be a way of building them up, like another person who could have won the men's Royal Rumble, the men's Battle Royale could have been EC3 to build him up and make him look stronger, like they tried to do when Corbin won it, and then they just kind of throw it away. They just see it as like a kickoff thing to throw the wrestlers that they don't know what to do within. And it's like, well, what's the point in making it some sort of memorial or anything like that if you're not actually going to make it mean anything? Again, they're just throwing things away that they could be using to build the wrestlers and build the names and actually do something with it, but they just don't. But yeah, Strowman brawls with Samoa Joe. So Strowman from Raw comes over to SmackDown and just, for no particular reason, and decides to brawl with Joe. I mean, okay, does that mean he's coming to SmackDown? Does he not? I mean, like, okay, again, tease for the shake-up, mentioned in the last video. Go watch it. You'll see exactly what I'm ranting about. If you want to touch on it, fine. Basically, I feel like the Superstar shake-up should have happened in 3 weeks. So we could have the fallout from Mania, then the tease, then the thing. I mean, I guess to a certain extent, the fact that they're doing the tease of the Superstar shake-up kind of adds a little extra element to the after Mania stuff, like the more surprise stuff. But it just ended up not looking impressive and being more confusing. But what the hell? So Strowman turns up, they brawl for a bit. And Joe managed to get out and run off. Wasn't really much to it, really. But definitely could be an interesting match. Potentially. I mean, Joe could make it a great match. Strowman, we'll have to see. He's very much a Lesnar in the way that he works, but he can throw in some random stuff every now and then, like drop kicks and stuff, so potentially something interesting could come from that, but I'm a bit middle of the road with the way that Strowman could do that match. Women's Tag Team Championships, the Iconics versus the Brooklyn Bells. We are going back. Oh, we are going back to the Jobbers. We haven't done this for a little bit. The Jobbers are freaking useless. I get that it's independent scene wrestlers that are just kind of dragged in to kind of just fill a slot, and that's fine. I mean, like, they've used some interesting ones before. They've even made stories out of a few of them. Ellsworth, as an example, who started off as a jobber thing against Strowman. You had who else? During one, you had Lesnar's daughter, who looks the freaking spit of him, and it's mad. He's kind of like a small Lesnar in a wig. It's quite scary how much he looks like a dad. But yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with her. Holy hell. I am definitely going to get murdered after doing these videos. But yeah, I mean, they're just pointless. It's like, again, they don't know what to do with them, so they're just throwing random crap in. I mean, it's fine to build up like your big ones and stuff, but your iconics, I feel like you could actually do something more with them, because they're already kind of an established tag team. But again, they're not really rolling with it again, shockingly. And yeah, they're doing the whole jobber thing with them instead, which is fine. I mean, maybe this is because of the whole Sasha and Bayley thing, and Sasha not turning up on Raw and cancelling Raw. Maybe she was meant to be on SmackDown as well. We don't know. I mean, like, the rematch clause is out, but it's kind of been used on Raw. Just confusing again, weird. But yeah, that was one and done. Although Paige was watching backstage, which didn't really lead to anything. So what Paige is doing, maybe she's coming back, maybe she's not. Maybe we'll find out. Who knows? Shane humiliates Greg Hamilton. Oh, this is being overdone. I mean, Miz wasn't there, which is weird on its own. Ray wasn't there. And like, there was loads of wrestlers missing. And I don't understand why so many of them weren't there. Charlotte wasn't there either. It's like, where the hell is everyone? This is the Raw and Smackdown after Mania. Why aren't they there? They should be there. But they weren't. And it's like, okay, well, fine. Let's just, I guess they just have to do what they had to do without them. So, yeah. Apparently he was classed as looking after Mr. Miz. I feel like he wasn't that badly hurt. Even if it was his first time in the ring, I guess. But considering he's been beaten down before, I'm pretty certain he's probably fine. But yeah, so he does the whole best in the world thing and drags him around with the tie and makes him do the thing over and over and over again, all the way up to the entrance ramp. Although, to be fair, the guy has got a voice on him. Best in the world, and he holds it for so long. Like, that was pretty cool. Okay, you get to see like why they pick their announcers the way that they do, and how good their voices actually are, especially the good ones. That was it really for that. It was just another humiliation moment. I'm curious to see who's going to step up and defend him eventually. I mean, it could be Paige, maybe, with the fact that she's kind of turned up. It could be one of the commentators. That'd be quite cool. Maybe Corey. I don't know. Maybe Byron. I highly doubt it. I don't know. Or it could eventually be Miz when he gets back. It just felt a bit weird with Miz not being there the night after, but nobody knows what's truly going on with that. Smackdown Tag Team Champions! The Hardy Boys defeat the Usos! Okay, so, I have a gripe. I do have a gripe. I love the Hardy Boys, okay? Like, you've probably seen it in loads of my videos. I freaking love Jeff Hardy. I do. I really do. He's a massive inspiration to me in so many ways. But so they brought the Hardy Boys together before Mania. So wouldn't it have made maybe a little bit more sense to have them do that at Mania. I mean, maybe they're just trying to get some of the ring rust off Matt by putting them in the Battle Royal. I don't know, but it was a good match. I mean, like, they look great. Jeff and Matt look the best they've looked in a long time, especially Matt. I've not seen him looking that good since when he was, like, originally in it. Like, he's looking fantastic. Jeff's lost a little bit of the gut, which I kind of need to do lately. But yeah, Jeff's looking really good as well in the fishnet top, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I mean, like, the match was good. You couldn't have expected anything more from it. I mean, like, they're a bit slower than they used to be. Of course they are. They're getting older and they've beating themselves up like freaking crazy. Jeff is the best at beating himself up. Nobody beats himself up like Jeff beats himself up, honestly. Just let him fly around the ring for a bit. You just stand still and let Jeff fly around the ring for a bit and he'll probably win the match for you. Eventually we'll end up being so knackered he'll just lie in the middle of the ring and go, there you go. Yeah, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, he's resilient, but you know what I mean, okay? And Matt's Matt. Matt's an oddball, but he is good to some extent. Not as good as Jeff, but he has his ups as well. More downs than ups, but he has his ups. Usos, fantastic as always. Those guys are freaking amazing. I mean, I don't know if it was right for them to lose the titles that soon. But I guess, again, this is another one of those after Mania moments and a shock and a surprise, which is nice. So, no gripes about fully when they won it, I suppose, but it just seemed a bit weird them getting them together before Mania and then not really featuring them at Mania. But, hell, I mean, like, they won the titles. Great. Yay. And then Lars Sullivan comes out and attacks them. Kind of falling off from what I said about the Angle thing, about them coming out and attacking the Legends, the Greats. I mean, I don't know who's going to finally face him. They might eventually finally come back round to doing the Cena versus Lars thing. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I mean, Money in the Bank is like a month and a half away. They've got some time to build it if they actually bother to build it, so they could do something with that. There's plenty of legends still. There's a few legends still about. I wouldn't say there's plenty, but like a lot of them have gone, I suppose, or retired. But we've still got a few about, so like we can do something with him. So yeah, I mean, like, it's going to be interesting to see where they eventually take it. Maybe they'll have, Taker maybe do a match with him. Doubtful, but he signed a 2-year deal, so he's going to be around for a while. So hopefully he'll be at the next freaking Mania. But yeah, I mean, they could. Yeah, it opens a door, but it's just it's an interesting one that I'm kind of looking to see where they're going with it. I'm just not massively happy with how they've started it. The Hardy Boys one I can kind of let go in a way, even though it has been a very long time since it has been. Well, I say a very long time. It has been a while since they've held the championships. But with Angle, it was definitely wrong. Sami Zayn comes out. Sami Zayn doesn't really cut a promo. He stands there, stares at everyone, and then goes, "You're not worth my time," and then throws the mic down. Mic drop. Boom. Okay, right. I've already made my case on this one. Disappointed. Not happy with the fact that they've made him heel. Not when he was so graciously received when he came back. When he returned upon Raw after Mania, and then they did that with him. It's just wrong time. Totally the wrong time. So one thing that I missed was from the Ali, Ricochet and Black and Andrade, Rusev and Nakamura match. Randy Orton RKO's Mustafa Ali after. Interesting. I mean, they have had a habit of throwing Ali under the bus while at the same time pushing him, while at the same time knocking him down, while at the same time pushing him, while at the same time knocking him down, which has been really odd to watch because you don't seem to know what the hell to do with him. But if they can get him in a nice high-profile bout with Randy Orton, that could turn out quite well if they do it right. It needs to be a better match than what he had with AJ Styles at Mania, but I'm hoping that Ali can pull something out of the bag. I mean, like, if AJ can't, it's not high hopes, but like it could be leading to something quite interesting. I mean, I feel like SmackDown is better with the stories than Raw is. We're still lacking. I mean, we're getting there, but we're still not 100% there. So again, in this case, a lot of teasers for a lot of stuff, but nothing particular happening. Oh, also going back to the last thing, again, just like the NXT thing of pick a freaking show. It's Raw or SmackDown. Like, hopefully hopefully a lot of these NXT, we don't know what the hell to do with them, will get sorted out in this draft. So we're gonna find out. This one it wasn't better than Raw After Mania. Again, it was still very weird, disjointed, and I don't know. I'm just hoping that this superstar shake-up will actually make things interesting. But I swear, if they decide to put Rollins on SmackDown and Kofi on Raw, then they had better not turn the Universal Championship blue. It will look weird. And I hope they don't turn the WWE Championship blue either, because again, that would look weird as well. But yeah, I mean, like, that's basically it, really. So that's Raw After Mania and SmackDown After Mania done. Next episode will be up when I finally watch Raw for this week. Thank you, and see you down the road. Just a very quick addition to the SmackDown video, because I've missed a couple of things, or a few quite big things off it. One, no Daniel Bryan, Eric Rowan, or AJ Styles on this episode. So there wasn't really a proper fallout from the Kofi Daniel Bryan match, which was disappointing. Same with the AJ Styles thing. Yes, he turned up and RKO'd Mustafa Ali, which could potentially start something depending on what happens with the shake-up. But again, no proper fallout. I'm guessing the match between them at Mania kind of settled the squabble. I don't know. Didn't really big up either of them at the end of it. And there was a little video package which we believe is for the return of Bray, which was a cardboard box with this like kind of dinosaur skull puppet thing pop out of it. In my opinion, that was interesting. I mean, like, I'm curious to see what they're going to bring Bray Wyatt back as, considering Bray is supposed to be coming back as this new character, considering we've seen him kind of like, there's a new picture of him with the side of his hair shaved off. Now, my concern with this is that they're going to kind of capitalise on the whole Joker film coming out and make him like a Joker-style character. It could work. It depends on how they play it. I mean, like, Bray is completely underrated. He is incredible on the mic. He's good. He's powerful in ring. So, and his character work is something else. I mean, like, at one point they were giving him complete creative control over his promos. To the point where they weren't really scripting. They were giving him like a little bit of plot point, a little bit of key points that he had to cover, and then going, right, go on, go for it, and do your own thing. And you know, he really did it justice. But I am concerned, but it could be quite clever depending on how they go with this. It's got a bit better than the whole Deleter of Worlds thing, where they just kind of tried to saddle him with it. I don't know. It could be good. It could be terrible. We'll just have to see what happens, really. Good luck, Bray. And yeah, that's it, really. Ta-ta.